Hello everyone. This section we will study the point about possible causes of cancers, part 2. Worldwide, approximately 18% of cancer deaths are related to infectious diseases. This proportion ranges from a high of 25% in Africa to less than 10% in the developed world. Viruses are the usual infectious agents that cause cancer. But cancer bacteria and parasites may also play a role. Oncoviruses include human papillomavirus, the abbreviation is HPV, which can cause cervical cancer. Epstein-Barr virus, the abbreviation is EB virus, which can cause B-cell lymphoproliferative disease and nasopharyngeal carcinoma. Capsulococcus herpesvirus that can cause capsulococcus and primary infusion lymphomas. Hepatitis B and hepatitis C viruses that can cause hepatocellular carcinoma. And human T-cell leukemia virus 1, which can cause T-cell leukemia. The Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine 2008 was divided, one half awarded to Hardt-Zoll-Hossen for his discovery of human papillomavirus causing cervical cancer. HPV is a group of more than 200 related viruses, some of which are spread through vaginal, anal, or oral sex. Sexually transmitted HPV types fall into two groups, low risk and high risk. Low-risk HPVs mostly cause no disease. High-risk HPVs can cause several types of cancer. There are about 14 high-risk HPV types. Two of these, HPV 16 and HPV 18, are responsible for most HPV-related cancers. HPV infection is common. Most HPV infections don't cause cancer. But sometimes, a high-risk HPV infection are not successfully controlled by the immune system and persists for many years. It can lead to cell changes that, if untreated, may get worse over time and become cancer. HPV infects the squamous cells that line the inner surfaces of the organs such as cervix, oropharynx, anus, rectum, penis, vagina, and vulva. For this reason, most HPV-related cancers are a type of cancer called squamous cell carcinoma. And infection with high-risk HPV doesn't cause symptoms. The precancerous cell changes caused by a persistent HPV infection at the cervix also don't cause symptoms. In the United States, high-risk HPVs cause 3% of all cancers in women and 2% of all cancers in men. There are about 44,000 new cases of cancers in parts of the body where HPV is often found. And HPV is estimated to cause about 34,000 cancers each year, according to the latest statistics from the CDC. Worldwide, the burden of HPV-related cancers is much greater. High-risk HPVs cause about 5% of all cancers worldwide, with an estimated 570,000 women and an estimated 60,000 men getting a HPV-related cancer each year. Cervical cancer is among the most common cancers and the leading cause of cancer-related deaths in low- and middle-income countries, where screening tests and treatment of the early cervical cell changes are not readily available. HPV vaccines can prevent infection with disease-causing HPV types, preventing many HPV-related cancers and cases of genital warts. 3 vaccines that prevent infection with disease-causing HPV types are licensed for use in the United States. Cervarix, Gardasil, and Gardasil 9. All three vaccines prevent infection with HPV types 16 and 18, two high-risk HPVs that cause about 70% of cervical cancers and an even higher percentage of some of the other HPV-caused cancers. Gardasil also prevents infection with HPV type 6 and 11, which cause 90% of genital warts. Gardasil 9 prevents infection with the same 4 HPV types plus 5 additional cancer-causing types, which are 31, 33, 45, 52, and 58, that together account for 10 to 20% of cervical cancers. HPV vaccination is routinely recommended at age 11 or 12 years. Vaccination can be started as early as age 9 years. HPV vaccination is recommended for all persons through age 26 years who were not adequately vaccinated earlier. Although the HPV vaccine is Food and Drug Administration approved to be given through age 45 years, HPV vaccination is not recommended for all adults ages 27 through 45 years. HPV vaccination in this age range provides less benefit because more people have already been exposed to the virus. HPV vaccination should be delayed until after pregnancy, but pregnancy testing is not required before vaccination. The HPV vaccine is given as a series of shots. The different dosing schedules depend on the age of the individual. Children who start the vaccine series before their 15th birthday need only 2 doses to be fully protected. People who start the series at age 15 or older, and people who have certain conditions that weaken the immune system need 3 doses to be fully protected. Researchers are currently investigating whether a single dose of HPV vaccine might be effective. A 2019 meta-analysis of girls-only HPV vaccination programs in 14 countries that included more than 60 million vaccinated people showed strong evidence of the vaccine's effectiveness. And the combination of HPV vaccination and cervical screening can provide the greatest protection against cervical cancer. Also, vaccination is a proved public health intervention for reducing the risk of developing HPV-associated cancers at sites other than the cervix. The safety and efficiency of the vaccine is also important for your attention. Bacterial infection may also increase the risk of cancer, as seen in Helicobacter pylori or H. pylori-induced gastric carcinoma. H. pylori is a spiral-shaped bacterium that grows in the mucosal layers that coats the inside of the human stomach. H. pylori is thought to spread through contaminated food and water and through direct mouth-to-mouth contact. In most populations, the bacterium is first acquired during childhood. The Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine 2005 was awarded jointly to Barry G. Marshall and J. Rubin Warren for the discovery of the bacterium Helicobacter pylori and its role in gastritis and peptic ulcer disease. H. pylori seems to have a soft spot for humans, and humans are the only natural host of this pathogen. A large number of studies have shown that more than 90% of duodenal ulcers and about 80% of gastric ulcers are caused by H. pylori infection. The discovery of H. pylori has depended the understanding of relationship among chronic infection, inflammation, and cancer. There has been proved a link between H. pylori and the pathogenesis of gastric cancer and gastric maxille-associated lymphoid tissue. The abbreviation is MALT lymphoma. So, H. pylori has been divided into Group 1 carcinogen by the International Agency for Research on Cancer. Gastric cancer is the second most common cause of cancer-related deaths in the worldwide, killing approximately 738,000 people in 2008. Infection with H. pylori is the primary identified cause of gastric cancer. For example, a 2001 combined analysis of 12 case control studies on H. pylori and gastric cancer estimated that the risk was nearly 6 times higher for H. pylori infected people than for uninfected people. Gastric MALT lymphoma is a rare type of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma that is characterized by the slow multiplication of B lymphocytes, a type of immunocell in the stomach lining. Nearly all patients with gastric MALT lymphoma show signs of H. pylori infection, and the risk of developing this tumor is more than 6 times higher in infected people than in uninfected people. Long-term follow-up of data from a randomized clinical trial carried out in Shandong, China, an area where rates of gastric cancer are relatively high, found that short-term treatment with antibiotics to eradicate H. pylori reduced the incidence of gastric cancer. During a nearly 15-year period after treatment, gastric cancer incidence was reduced by almost 40%. Parasitic infections associated with cancer include Schistosoma hematobium and the liver fluke such as Opsoritis viverrini and colonoscopy. A fluke is a kind of worm in the class Trematode that live in mollusks and vertebrates. Opsoritis viverrini, also known as the Southern Asian or Oriental liver fluke, lives in a certain genus of freshwater snails or in humans. And when it lives in humans, it seems to predispose the humans to cholangiocarcinoma, which is cancer of the bile ducts. It turns out that the fluke can produce a particular protein, granulin, which is very similar to a human growth hormone, is an effective cancer-causing agent. This is the end of this section. Thank you very much.